Coming up on the marketplace, Aviation Minister claims that government handling of over 5 aircrafts to the ministry to commence the operations of a home-based carrier are false. We shall be bringing you details on that. Also, we'll bring you a Bloomberg report on how Ghana was ranked among the 10 fastest growing economies in the world this year amid COVID-19. Plus,
partial bailout of 50,000
management companies to picket at the Finance Ministry this week as they demand the payment of their severance packages. We'll hear the stories. Hello once again, I'm Charles AYITEY. Let's take a short break. We'll be back with the details of all the business stories making rounds today. Now, the Aviation Minister, Joseph Kofi Adda, says reports of government handing over 5 aircraft to the ministry to commence the operations of the home-based carrier are false. Now, these pictures you see on your screens are the purported aircraft expected to be handed over to the ministry. But once again, as you can see on your screen, this has been the Aviation Minister's response to that one. That first of all, no agreement has been signed yet with the strategic partner Egypt Air, so far identified. Also, negotiations with Egypt Air are at an advanced stage on a strategic partnership arrangement to relaunch a national flag carrier. Plus, disregard the false news that His Excellency the President will deliver 5 aircrafts to the Ministry of Aviation. This was signed by the Minister himself, Joseph Kofi Adda, on this particular development. We shall be following keenly on this, especially when Ghana and Egypt have reached negotiations far advanced to advance the home-based carrier in the country. But away from that, Ghana will be among the 10 fastest growing economies in the world next year. Now, that's according to the latest analytical report of economies around the world by Bloomberg. George Riafi has more in this report.
To Bloomberg News Opinion Analysis Report, with the country's projected end-of-year economic growth of 1.3%, this would put Ghana into the rankings of top 10 fastest-growing economies around the world for this year. The country in the global rankings was placed 8th, coming after the likes of Ethiopia, Uganda, Ivory Coast and Egypt. However, with the Bank of Ghana's latest forecast of an end-of-year growth of 2.5%, that may even push Ghana into the 3rd or 4th fastest-growing economy by the end of this year. Bloomberg in its analysis sought to establish how COVID-19 would impact on the growth of economies around the world for this year, especially African countries. It is in the report arguing that Ghana will be among 5 countries that will sustain this growth momentum for the next 3 years. The World Bank country director Pierre Laporte, in a recent interview with Joy Business, noted that despite COVID-19, Ghana will still end the year among the top best performing economies around the world. For some, this could signal more job openings or return to work for businesses that were forced to shut down because of COVID-19. Economic activities picking up could also impact positively on revenue mobilization, as well as attract more investment into the country and some prudent returns on existing manufacturing firms and enterprises in the country.
Now, these are terrible times for all former workers who lost their jobs to the collapse of fund management firms. They say that they still have not been paid their severance packages. Now, these workers, numbering over 200, wants the government to address their call immediately. In a press release, the desperate ex-staff have threatened to picket at the Ministry of Finance on Wednesday, December 2, if payment is not made. In September, except of the statement read as we shall be pulling up on your screen, we appealed to the government and later engaged the relevant stakeholders regarding the payment of our severance packages. But sadly, the conversation continues. Our severance package has not been paid. Of course, our colleagues who were with the savings and loans companies have received their severance packages from government, but the same government has refused to pay our severance packages. Now, the government knows the several suffering of Ghanaians amid COVID-19, but has failed to offer relief towards the ex-staff. This is except of the statement that they released shortly. But for us to understand the scope of their issues and the challenges they're faced with, we're joined via Zoom by the spokesperson, Joy Degbajo. We're grateful that you joined us. So first of all, one could sense desperation and frustration in this press release that you issued. How bad is your situation?
Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear, Joy. Wanted to find out from you, how desperate is your situation, especially when this is not the first time you're raising such concerns?
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. Our situation, as you said, is very, very desperate. Many of our members are in a situation which is very, very bad. As you may recall, we, the coalition of ex-staff of the fund management companies, are calling on the government to pay our severance package immediately. You will recall that in November 2019, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, revoked the license of about 53 companies. And through that.
Well, unfortunately, we could barely hear Joy. The phone line's so terrible. We shall try reconnecting to give you that. But meanwhile, clients of Gold Coast Fund Management have refused to, go by the payment plan the government has issued out for them. Here is a report.
A statement from the Commission indicated an authorized partial bailout of 50,000 cedis to all customers pending the outcome of a court action. But the coalition of aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management has concerns. The group says an online process for payment of funds compelled depositors to sign a share subscription and assignment agreement with the Amalgamated Mutual Fund PLC. Leader of the group, Charles Nyami, explains the terms and conditions to the agreement.
In effect, the SEC is seeking to convert our cash claim into shares in Amalgamated Mutual Fund. Yet, the SEC has been entirely silent on these requirements of the processes and have failed to educate affected customers of the meaning and implications of this agreement with the Amalgamated Mutual Fund. Unfortunately, the SEC have failed to respond to all attempts by the leadership of this coalition to engage them on this and other equally important matters relating to the announced government bailout program.
The customers are demanding the government adopt the same method used in payment of affected customers in the banking and savings and loans sectors.
We wish to urge government and the SEC to expedite work on the payment process to ensure that customers are paid by December 3rd, 2020. It is also worrying to note that as at the time of issuing this press release, over 50% of customers are yet to receive the initial text message to allow them commence the payment process.
Operation 1 is to Operation 1 is to
The mantra here is 1:5, meaning each of the affected customers and their family members, at least 4 other family members, will vote against the president if he should refuse to pay them before the 7th of December. From Kumasi for JoyNews, Nana Ojima reporting.
That was a report there. Aggrieved customers of ex-staff of these finance companies, aggrieved customers in that way. But we have been joined once again by an ex-staff, Joy, who early on joined us. We had issues with his connection. He joins us once again. So thank you very much once again. Let's hope this works this time around. How desperate is your situation, Joy, and what exactly is your story?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, we could manage.
Okay, so our situation is very, very, very serious. It's very serious. So we, the ex-staff of the coalition of ex-staff of the different fund management companies, we are really suffering. You may recall that in November 2019, Securities and Exchange Commission revoked the licenses of about 53 fund management companies. We, the staff, through this process, lost our job. So it's been since 1 year we have been at home not working. We are in a very, very, very serious problem. So that's why we are calling on the government to make funds available to pay us immediately.
You stated that you're going to be picketing You said that you're going to pick it at the Finance Ministry on Wednesday. How has arrangements been so far regarding that initiative that you've taken?
Yes, so the staff have wives, we have husbands, we have children, we have our mothers, our moms, and our family members who depend on us. And all these people, all our family members of the field staffs, all our staff's families and the wives and the children, we are on standby. That if you don't get our money, then we'll go ahead and pick it at the finance ministry to press home our demand for them to release money to pay us immediately, because we are suffering. The staff are suffering, and the family and the dependents are all suffering.
So how has arrangement regarding that, and what has been the response of SEC shortly? What has SEC been telling you regarding your payments in the near future?
So nothing has been said. You recall that when we did the initial press statement somewhere in September, following that there was a meeting with SEC, what we know is that all the work relating to these payments has been done. What is left now is for the government to release funds to pay us. It's as simple as that. So that's why we are calling on the paying authority, the Ministry of Finance and the government, to make funds available to pay us our severance package to alleviate our long suffering.
Joy, we're so grateful. Unfortunately, the phone line, the connection has been very jerky. But of course, we get your point. You want government to repay you, to pay the severance packages. If not, you're going to be picketing on Wednesday. We shall keep a close attention on this to give our viewers the updates as and when we do have them. But, it's been weeks since traders at the Circle Pedestrian Mall lost millions of cedis to a fire outbreak that ravaged all the stores situated there. Yes, we know that government has committed to extend financial support to these traders through the National Board for Small-Scale Industries, NBSSI. But one question unanswered is why insurance companies don't venture into market centers in Ghana with their various packages. We put this question to the Deputy Commissioner, Kofi Ando. Here's his response.
The law that we have, currently there's something in the new insurance, but the law that we have now is restricted to private commercial buildings. Okay, so you're talking about shops, you're talking about shopping malls, you're talking about private commercial buildings. They are compelled to insure. The open market as at now are not compelled, but it is advisable for them because, you see, when disaster strikes, it is easier for the rich man to bounce back because he's rich. But the poor man is difficult for him because probably that will be all that he has. So I think that we even though the law doesn't compel, it is important that we encourage and motivate people. This whole education is to make it easy for people to voluntarily buy insurance. When you force people to do this, they may be doing it just because you are forcing them. When people understand and they value something and they buy it, that is real value. They are buying it because they need it and they are going to use it. And that is mainly the objective of this education.
Okay, so do we need to change the laws?
I think it is more important to educate the people to understand why they need to manage their risks and voluntarily go out there and look for insurance that can protect them than to force people to do it. Sometimes they don't understand because they must buy. Sometimes the policeman comes there and says, let me see your insurance, and they are arrested because people don't understand. They don't know why they must buy it. But I believe that if we do this education to the level where people know what they can get out of it, it will give us a much better outcome than compelling people to do it. I'm not saying that that is a bad idea, but I think educating people to understand why they must buy insurance is a better option.
Well, let's stay on matters regarding insurance because the incoming president of the Chartered Institute of Insurance Institute of Ghana, Teria Ben Ahmed, says insurance penetration, which presently stands at 1%, is very low and demands an immediate action plan to grow it. According to him, the National Insurance Commission, in collaboration with industry stakeholders, is working together to increase insurance penetration. He spoke to Joy Business at the Chartered Institute Awards of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana's awards.
In Ghana as of today, if you look at it from the NIC annual report of 2019, it's approximately 1%, and 1% is not what we want to have. But it's important to just give you some other aspect of this conversation as well. It will interest you to know that based on the same annual report of the NIC in the year 2019, non-life insurance companies or general insurance companies pay on a daily basis 1.4 million Ghana cedis in claims on a daily basis. And guess what? Life insurance companies pay on a daily basis 2.2 million Ghana cedis a day in claims. In as much as penetration is 1% and we want to see penetration grow, it is important for us to acknowledge the good work insurance is doing to the development of Ghana. I can confirm to you that the National Insurance Commission, in collaboration with industry stakeholders, are working strongly together to promote insurance penetration in Ghana. And the NIC, which is the insurance regulator, has set out to grow the insurance market from a current market value of 3.5 billion to a market size of 10 billion by 2024.
Well, meanwhile, the multimedia group won the CIIG Insurance Media House of the Year award. Head of Joy Business, Odilia Ntiamwa, who received the award on behalf of the organization, said the multimedia group have been very consistent in the area of insurance as it continues to play an important role in ensuring the public is educated on insurance-related issues.
I basically think that we've been very consistent when it comes to the area of insurance. Several media houses don't have insurance correspondents. We've also dedicated a couple of times on our airwaves opportunities for the insurance industry to really come and educate the public when it comes to insurance-related issues. We've been very consistent on the recapitalization of the insurance industry, and we look forward to the final things being done when it comes to that. Insurance penetration has also been very small, and so through several forms of education that we have done, our expectation is that this should go down well with people and people should consume insurance. So I think in a nutshell, we've done some good education when it comes to insurance, and this has been spearheaded by Bismarck Ewusa from the Joy Business team, and of course others who have also interviewed various industry players on various programs, especially in the area of business programming.
Well, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, has indicated his outfit is prepared to introduce fresh measures to help contain expected COVID-19 shocks on the banking sector. Now, this follows concerns that the full effects of the pandemic are yet to be realized, as well as fears of a second COVID-19 wave. But speaking at the 2020 annual dinner of the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Dr. Addison said the central bank is in a better position now to deal with the new challenge.
The economic impact of the pandemic may, in the longer run, show up in a higher loan-performing loan and some capital erosion of banks. The Bank of Ghana is putting greater focus on identifying the early warning signals and initiate prompt corrective action. Looking ahead, the Bank of Ghana will continue to strengthen all the regulatory measures implemented over the last 3.5 years to maintain confidence and safeguard financial stability. In the aftermath of the pandemic, we will have to follow a careful unwinding of counter-cyclical measures that we have implemented and allow the financial system to function without the regulatory forbearance.
Well, meanwhile, Dr. Addison is warning that the rising budget deficits may threaten programs already implemented to stabilize the economy. In a related development, the president of the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Madame Patricia Sapo, has launched the Ghana Banking Code of Ethics and Business Conduct. The code, among others, is expected to help in ensuring the observance of ethical standards and professional conduct among members of the banking profession in the country. Well, today is the last day of work for one of Ghana's longest-serving managing directors in the banking sector, at least, Alhassan Andani. Mr. Andani is credited for transforming Stanbic Bank, a bank that had only two branches in 2005, to about 40 branches today, and making it a Tier 1 bank. His legacy will forever be remembered because of the significant impact it made on the growth of the Pan-African Bank. Communications Manager Kojo Labi tells Joy Business that Stanbic Bank Ghana's achievement cannot be written without Mr. Andani's influential and decisive role in its growth during the last 15 years. And we wish Mr. Ndane all the best as we extend our congratulatory messages to him as well. Well, away from Mr. Ndane, the Secretary General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement Area, Wamkele Mene, has described the trade pact as the fastest agreement to be adopted by member countries on the African continent. According to him, the commitment shown by heads of state is an indication that the deal will work to the benefit of all. Wamkele Mene was speaking at a cocktail ceremony by the CEOs Network of Ghana to discuss opportunities available in the trade agreement. There is more in this report.
With about 2 months to begin the implementation of the Continental Free Trade Area deal, many businesses in Ghana are gearing up to take up the opportunity of trading among their counterparts without trade barriers. The agreement is expected to give free market access to all member countries that have ratified so far and increase intra-Africa trade by more than 50% from its current 18%. Speaking as the guest of honor at the CEOs Network Cocktail Night, Secretary General of the Free Trade Area Secretariat, Wamkele Mene, reiterated the commitment of the African Union to ensure that no member country is shortchanged in the deal. He described it as the fastest agreement to be adopted by Africa since the creation of the African Union.
The fastest ratification in the history of the African Union. And it signals that our heads of states, our governments, are very, very serious about boosting intra-Africa trade, and are very, very serious about enhancing Africa's investment climate. At the moment, intra-Africa trade is very low. It is at 18%, and there's a range of reasons why it is so low. We trade amongst ourselves as Africans. We trade apples for apples. We do not trade value-added goods. We do not trade value-added production. We export primary commodities primarily to Europe.
Chief Executive of the CEOs Network, Ernest de Graft Ejiri, believes that CEOs in Ghana must come together to be able to have a better understanding of the concept for the Continental Free Trade Area.
Before 2021 sets in, we need to have a close conversation with him. So we decided to rather have it in an informal setting at today's cocktail. The AFTA has prospects, and we only ask questions. That with over 3.4 trillion of value creation, with intra-African trade targets of 50%, I think it's a good source for the private sector. So 150 CEOs selected. We've sat down with him, we've had a conversation with him, and we believe that we've had answers that we need, and that has really prepared the private sector CEOs in Ghana to take advantage of AFTA in 2021.
The event was also used as a platform for members to interact with the Secretary General for the first time since his appointment. Ebenezer Sabote's report for Joy Business.
And that's how we wrap up on the marketplace. I'm Charles AYITEY. Many thanks for watching.